Today we're going to be talking about blades. Primarily going to be talking about the diamond segmented blades for concrete and asphalt. Now before we get started, we want to talk about the recommended safety PPE when working with these blades. You want to make sure that you have your gloves on. You'd also like to make sure that you have safety glasses and hearing protection. The other thing we want to talk about is respiratory protection. You want to make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area. If you can't do that, you want to have some kind of dust control, whether working with water or a vacuum setup. The other option is also a respiratory device, such as an N95 mask over your mouth, just to make sure that the dust isn't getting into your lungs. Now let's get started.
To need to know what type of blade you're going to have to use, you're going to need to know what you're working with, whether it's concrete or asphalt. A concrete blade like you see here can be used with or without water, depending on what type of situation or environment you're in. You can tell along the teeth are more of a standard pattern. It's very even. With an asphalt blade, you can see here there's small divots. Blades you want to use with water. When it comes to cutting, a 14-inch blade per se will have about 5 inches worth of cut, or approximately a third of the total size of the blade. And now we're going to learn about installing a blade.
My hand is an 18-inch concrete blade, and right now looking at the blade, in order to install it to the saw, we're going to look at the diamond and see which direction that is flowing. Right now it's going to the right, so we know that this blade is going to be installed. Okay, so we're going to install the arbor cap onto the blade, which is going to connect to the floor saw. I do want to note that when you're doing this, you might want to adjust this by twisting this over, so that way you can see the hole better to adjust it in there. Then we want to put our fitting in, or washer, should I say, and then the nut. Now we're going to use our wrenches, which you also can find over here behind the saw. Now we're going to tie it down, tighten it up.
Hey, what does a 14-inch blade go on?
Were we supposed to talk about that?